Hello and welcome. Today we are looking at an activity that is an alternative to comprehension questions. It is, I guess, a form of observation of learning, and it is the information transfer. So today you will become familiar with a different way of measuring comprehension. An alternative, really, to comprehension questions. Now you might think, hey, what's wrong with comprehension questions? People have been using them for thousands of years, which is true, but they have their critics. Professor Paul Nation talked about the curse of the comprehension question, and more recently, Day and Park have talked about the death by comprehension questions syndrome. Their idea is not that comprehension questions are bad in themselves, but that they are overdone. And as we have observed elsewhere when we talked about multi-choice questions, it's not always easy for a classroom teacher to create good questions that really do measure comprehension. So the information transfer is a different way of assessing understanding. So, what is an information transfer? Put simply, it's a way of transferring information from one form to another. Most commonly, it's used for listening or reading. So students may read a passage or hear a passage. They listen, they read, and they record key information in a different form. It's not a dictation. So let's look at an example. Let's imagine that someone's going to read you a passage about fruit. Many different types of fruit, not just bananas. So let's say it's a listening activity, and before the listening happens, the teacher gives the students a grid like this. So you can see it's got along the top, it's got the categories, fruit, colour, so on, and some grids to fill in as you listen, with some information already provided to make it easier. So as the students listen, they fill in the information. They're transferring the information from one form to another. Now, it could just end there, but why should it? Information transfer can also work in other ways. So it could go from written form to spoken form, or from written form to written form. So you might, for example, say, okay, now you've got your completed grid of information, I want you to talk to a friend and retell the information. Or you might want them to write a short writing passage comparing and contrasting the characteristics of different fruit. Now, this is something we should really encourage because it leads to what I believe is a great way of planning lessons, which is the way of creating an activity cycle. So here, using information transfer, in the first cycle, you're listening to the information, then you are writing it in note form, and then you are retelling it. So it gives learners multiple opportunities to hear target language and to use target language. And because there are multiple opportunities, learning is more likely to happen. For the teacher, observing the student's success in creating the information transfer is a very quick and easy way to gauge comprehension. Thank you.